Let's say that you have a couple dumbbells at home, but you don't have a bench, so you want to do some workarounds in order to do the big 5 at home in the book Body by Science. I'm JG. I've been instructing high-intensity strength training for the past 8 years, and here at home I just did the big 5 with dumbbells in my living room right here. So I'm going to guide you through this. I'm going to give you some of my thoughts on it, and I hope you live a longer life with the power of strength training. When working my lats at home, I'll use a static contraction. Beginners can do this as well. Even if you can't hold it quite as long as this, we'd prefer to get over 60 seconds of time under load. In order to achieve that, if you have to do this a couple of times or a few times, that is okay. I prefer to get 1.5 minutes of time under load, reaching momentary muscular failure. And I realize here that I want more time under load. Contracting into it again. Be careful to keep your shoulders down. You can tell my form is still good. I lose range of motion very quickly. If you don't have a bench, you could use something like a window seat, or shorter seat like this for your dumbbell bench press. You'll notice that I'm being careful to not move the weights very quickly at all. Everything is slow and calculated when using dumbbells. We want to gently squeeze inward a little bit with this movement. All of the traditional Nautilus-like machines have an inward motion that you want to push into. Of course, this slow motion is what keeps us safe. Reaching momentary muscular failure is our goal. I always find when using dumbbells that, of course, one side is always going to be stronger than the other. That's just natural. It is sometimes a challenge to keep dumbbells stratified and stable compared to, say, a barbell. I do always prefer doing a static contraction push-up or multiple slow motion push-ups to using dumbbells for this. But I did this anyway. Again, I move these dumbbells very slowly. I'm very fatigued when I'm getting up, and so I move them to my legs first, and then I get up without putting strain on my lower back there. This is the bent over row.
Of course, moving at that same slow 5 to 10 second pace, focusing on the muscles you're using, breathing properly. Engaging the core through this and every exercise is imperative. You can see I'm losing range of motion here, inroading deeper to momentary muscular failure. I always want to squeeze for a little bit of extra at the end to make sure that I'm getting every muscle fiber recruited that I can. Now this one could potentially bother someone's lower back. If you find that's the case, you could use something like this. It's like a window seat, or of course a coffee table would work just fine. It takes a little bit of stress off of your lower back here, because you'll be bracing yourself with your hand. Of course, the same principles apply. Slow motion, squeezing at the maximum contraction point for 3 seconds. You'll get the idea. I didn't go to momentary muscular failure on this one. Of course, I had already done this exercise. This one, of course, is the overhead press. Slow and calculated movements. You want your hands to stay steadfast above your elbows. You'll notice that I get fairly uneven here with these. That's not recommended, but it does happen. As long as you're staying slow enough, you will be fine. If you get uneven a little bit, just even them back out. You'll notice my shoulders are down. I'm breathing. You want your core engaged through this, of course, every exercise. A lot of people's reaction to hitting what they think is momentary muscular failure would be dropping the weights. Of course, in this case, I'm staying steadfast here. I know what it feels like, squeezing into it at the very end at the maximum contraction point.
Oh yeah.
The last one for the big 5 today is the dumbbell squat, starting in the maximum contraction point, slowly moving upward. Now I have a little bit of a history with lower back issues. I have a little bit of a history with a knee problem on my left knee. Over the years, as I have improved my strength in both of those areas, I have found that I can go through the full range of motion for a squat now. glutes engage deeply when you're moving through this range, especially at that maximum contraction point. We focus on the glutes as we push. This is good form for the dumbbell squat, safe movement. I get very close to reaching momentary muscular failure. And I end up having to stop because of my knee.